Welcome to Tape 2, Lesson 1. We are starting now our study of spelling of vowels. Tape 1, we have studied the sounds of the vowels. Right now we're going to start putting the sound with the spelling. I need to mention that even though French is one language, as you suspect, regional differences play a big part in vowel pronunciation. So I am trying to give you the most typical sounds. The spelling, however, is very standard. So we will be seeing the relationship between spelling and sound. So this lesson presents you with the basic vowels. And if you remember from our very first lesson, we started with the A frontal, and then we will compare the different spellings of both A, the frontal A and the posterior A. So we'll start with A frontal. How many ways do we spell A? Well, it's a very simple vowel. A is A, plain, solo, right? Just one letter. So we have sable, aval, aval, and ta-ta. A, a. Frontal, oral, if you remember. Oral because it comes through my mouth. There's only one exception in the French language where the A sound is not spelled with an A. And that is the word for woman. In French, the word for woman is femme. And if you notice my mouth, it has exactly the same position as the A. It is heard as the A, but it is spelled F-E-M-M-E. Femme. So remember, the only exception in the French language for frontal A. Now, we move on to the posterior open A. And if you remember, that one appears with accent circonflexe on the vowel most of the time, and we touched on it in previous lessons. There is a number of words in French which appear without an accent, and usually those words will be short and end with an S or Z sound, like pas, gaz, or another word, gras, for fat. Those will be posterior open A and no accent. So be aware that this sound is posterior. Sometimes it appears with an accent circonflexe, like in homme, mâle, grâce, or without circonflexe, pas and gaz. By the way, the posterior A in French is not as common as the frontal A. So when in doubt, go frontal, and usually you can't go too wrong. Okay? Now, let's go down to the E. Remember E, lots of tension in your lips, frontal, oral. Me, dessous, cheveux, cela. This E in French is a E muet, meaning that the E itself does not have much power. However, it gives power to the consonant to which it is attached, okay? And it's muet when you have, it's at the end of a word or sometimes in the middle of a word. Like asseoir will have a E in it and you don't hear it. And that's why it's called E muet. Bien. Now we have the different E, which is spelled E-U. So here we move away from